Welcome to the Karma Verdict. Let us get started with today's story. A week before the wedding, Martha came home late Tuesday night. She walked in carrying takeout like she always did when she worked late, but something was off. No kiss, no eye contact. We ate in silence. Halfway through the meal, she said, "Can we talk?" That phrase never leads anywhere good. I set down my fork. She stood at the edge of the kitchen, arms crossed, nervous energy dripping off her. "I do not think I can go through with the wedding," she said. I stared at her, not even a flinch. I waited. She took a breath. "I have been talking to Jonas again." My stomach turned. Jonas, her ex. The one she called her worst decision when we first started dating. The guy she said taught her what not to want in a partner. Apparently, he taught her something else recently. "I thought he was history," I replied. "He showed up last month. Just messaged out of the blue. We talked. It was not supposed to mean anything. But it does," I said. She nodded slowly. "I am sorry. I need space. I need to figure out what I really want." "So you are choosing your ex over me," I said flat. She opened her mouth, then closed it. "I do not know yet." "Yeah, you do." She packed a small overnight bag. Said she would be at Jenny's for a few days. Told me not to overreact. I did not argue. I held the door open while she walked out like nothing happened. I cried that one night. That was all I gave it. The next morning, I saw the wedding checklist, still magnetized to the fridge. I tore it down, walked to the drawer, and pulled out the ring box, sat with it in my palm like a ticking clock. And just like that, I knew exactly what I needed to do. By Friday morning, I had a plan. First call I made was to the venue. Told them the wedding was off. They were sympathetic, but the deposit was non-refundable. 12 grand gone. Just like that. Next was the florist. Same story. The caterer at least agreed to cut the order in half, keep a portion. I was not getting a dime back, but I could stop the bleeding. Then I grabbed the ring. Custom-designed platinum band, 1-carat emerald cut diamond, flanked with sapphires. Martha's dream ring. I had paid just over $11,000 for it. Took it to a private jeweler I trusted. They examined it, cleaned it, and offered me $6,800 on the spot. I did not hesitate and sold it. He counted out the cash, and I walked out with the envelope in my coat pocket. It did not feel like a win, but it felt like motion. That night, the calls from Martha started. First one came at 9:12 in the evening, and by midnight, I had 10 missed calls and 4 texts. "Where's the ring?" "I have been thinking. We should probably decide what to do with it. I mean, it was expensive. Maybe we could still sell it." I did not respond. The next morning, my phone buzzed again. I finally picked up. Her voice cracked. "Why have not you answered me?" "Been busy." "What is urgent?" "The ring. My mom wanted to know if it is safe with insurance and everything. I figured we should talk about it. Maybe you should give it back to me, or we can decide together what to do with it." "No need," I said. "I sold it." Silence. "You what?" "I sold the ring." "You sold it without even talking to me. You left. You chose someone else. That ring symbolized a wedding you walked away from." "But Arthur," she started, then paused. "That ring was expensive." "I know. That is why I sold it." Martha was not done. "You should have told me first," she snapped. "Told you what I asked. You walked out and did not look back. It was our ring. It symbolized our relationship. You ended the relationship. The symbol does not mean much now, does it?" She went quiet for a second. Then came the classic Martha pivot. "My mom said maybe we could have resold it together, or at least kept it for, I do not know, sentimental reasons." "Sentimental reasons." I laughed once cold. "For the engagement, you ended to go back to your ex." "I did not go back. Jonas helped me see how stuck I felt." "Must be freeing," I said. "Anyway, the money is in my account. I will be using it to cover some of the losses from the wedding you bailed on." Her tone sharpened. "Losses, Arthur. You are being petty." "No, I am being practical." That night, I got a call from Jenny, her best friend. "Arthur, hey, I am just trying to keep things civil here. Then maybe talk to Martha. She is just overwhelmed. Her parents are too. Listen, there is a balance left on her dress. They were hoping you could cover it, since you know you were the one who made most of the wedding purchases anyway." "Not happening," I said flatly. "It is just the final payment, $1,200. You paid the deposit, right? Does not it make sense to just Jenny?" I cut in. "Tell Martha and her family to stop contacting me for money." I did not cancel the wedding. The next morning, I opened my email to find a message from Linda Carver, Martha's mom, with a subject line, "A civil proposal, for everyone's sake. Inside was a detailed message outlining the expenses the Carvers had supposedly invested in the wedding. Linda wrote that Martha's dress fittings had already cost them $800, and she had spent another $600 on her own mother of the bride dress. They had also put down a $1,000 deposit for the rehearsal dinner and covered half the cost of the bridesmaid gifts, about $200. She closed by saying they were hoping I'd do the right thing and help offset those costs, because in her words, it is tradition for the groom's side to support these areas. I wrote back my own financial losses from this canceled wedding exceed $20,000. I will not be covering anyone else's expenses. This discussion is closed. No reply. But something told me it would not be the last time they tried. 2 days later, I got an email from the Honeymoon resort. They wanted to confirm my check-in. I had paid in full non-refundable 6 nights in the Bahamas King Suite Ocean View couples package. It was supposed to be the start of our new life. I thought about canceling, eating the loss. But then I picked up the phone and called Derek. Derek had been my best friend since college. Level-headed, straight-talking, the kind of guy who never made a big deal out of anything, unless it actually was a big deal. I had not told him about the breakup yet. When I did, there was a long pause on the other end of the line. Then, a string of disbelief. He did not need to hear all the drama, just the facts. Martha was gone. The wedding was off. And I was not going to sit at home while the money burned in my account. I forwarded him the email from the Honeymoon resort. He said he was in. No questions, no pity, just let me know what to pack. The very next day, a text came in from Martha. She was using a different number this time. I know we are not in a great place, but the honeymoon is already paid for. It would be a huge waste. Jonas and I could just go and get out of everyone's hair. Consider it an olive branch so we can move on. An olive branch. She wanted me to hand her a tropical getaway so she and her ex could toast to my humiliation. I replied, once it is booked under my name, non-transferable. I will be going with someone who did not bail on me a week before the wedding. Sometimes the most peaceful response is silence, followed by boarding passes. The calls did not stop. I ignored most of them, but the dress shop did not. Apparently my name had been listed as a secondary contact. The woman on the line explained that they had been trying to reach Martha for her final dress payment. The remaining balance was $1,200, and if they did not hear from her by the end of the week, they would be forced to send it to collections. I told them she was no longer my responsibility and that the engagement had ended. They said they had already tried calling and emailing her, but everything bounced back: voicemail, full emails unanswered. I gave them her updated contact information and told them not to call me again about it. That was the last I heard from the boutique. The next day, Martha left me a voicemail. "Arthur," she said, voice trembling, "I did not know they would come after me like this. The dress shop is threatening my credit. My parents are furious. And Jonas, he is trying to help, but he did not expect all this either. I did not think things would get so out of control. Please call me." I did not. Not because I did not care. I did once. But when someone pulls the pin and tosses the grenade into your life, you do not run in to help them dodge the shrapnel. That weekend, Jenny messaged me short and dramatic. Martha is really not okay. Her family's blaming her for everything. Jonas is not helping. She is cracking under the pressure. I read it twice, then deleted it. People crack when they finally hit the consequences they thought they were too special to face. The next time my phone rang, I turned it off. I was done answering calls that did not start with an apology or end with silence. The social unraveling started quietly. Some mutual friends reached out, mostly to say they had heard the wedding was off and were sorry. A few knew why. The rest I let figure it out on their own. I did not gossip. I did not throw Martha under the bus, but I also did not protect her version of events. Apparently, she did not show the same restraint. Word got back to me that Martha was telling people I had been emotionally unavailable for a long time, that she tried to talk to me, that reconnecting with Jonas just kind of happened. Sure, it just kind of happened a week before the most expensive day of our lives. Then Jenny texted me again. "Martha is realizing what she lost. I think she misses you. Just wanted you to know." I did not respond. Realizing too late is not redemption. It is regret with bad timing. By then, I had moved out of our shared apartment. Took what I paid for, left what I did not. I found a one-bedroom across town, clean, quiet, detached from all the history. One night, I found the wedding planning binder in a box I almost did not open. I flipped through it. Her dress, sketches, the caterer, menus, our honeymoon itinerary. I did not feel much just done. I kept one thing from the folder. A single sheet I had printed the day after she left, the itemized breakdown of everything I lost. Money deposits, non-refundable bookings. It was not about revenge. It was a receipt for the version of me that did not roll over when life took a swing. I folded it, slid it back into the box, and stored it at the back of my closet. Not for anger, just as proof that I had survived the hit without flinching. 6 months passed cleanly, quietly. I did not date, did not go looking for a rebound. I focused on work, got back in the gym, took some freelance projects I had been putting off, spent time with Derek. The trip with him, surprisingly perfect. Beach. No drama. We did not talk about Martha once. Word came through mutual acquaintances that the dress debt had caught up. Her parents refused to bail her out. Jonas did not either. He reportedly said it was not my wedding. Real supportive. She had started making monthly payments, picked up a side job on weekends. Then one afternoon, I ran into her grocery store. She froze. I did not. "Arthur," she said, voice small. "Martha, you look good, thanks." She paused. "You seem happy." I nodded. "I am." She looked like she wanted to say more. But what could she say that would change anything? She just nodded and let me pass. I did not look back. I drove home in silence. Groceries in the back seat, windows down. That night, I pulled out the wedding receipt list again, looked it over. Not out of spite, just as a reminder of what I walked away from. The ring did not just cover costs, it brought clarity. And I would never ask for a refund. It is funny what sticks with you. Not the fights, not even the betrayal. What I remember most is standing at that jeweler's counter, holding the ring I had picked out with every intention of forever watching him slide it into a velvet tray. That moment, that was the shift. Not when she walked out, not when her mom asked me to cover the rehearsal dinner outfits, like I was still the son-in-law. That was when I realized no one was coming to clean up the wreckage but me, and that no one had the right to keep me in it either. The ring money did not come close to making me whole, but it gave me a handhold enough to get moving. Now, I sleep fine. I keep my weekends for myself. I have a view from my new apartment that makes the mornings easier. And yeah, I have started dating. Nothing serious, but I know what I am worth now. And Martha, I do not hate her. I do not even think about her most days. She made her choices. She lives with them. She gave me silence and confusion. I gave her a closed tab and a clear message. You do not get to burn the bridge and expect a ride home. I kept the itemized list. It is not bitterness. It is a record. Not of what I lost, but of where I refuse to bend. Sometimes I look at it and I smile because that is not a list of things that broke me. That is a list of things I walked through calm, clean standing. And that is the real closure. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel to stay updated with our upcoming stories. Your support means the world to us.